So I have a little story for y'all. So a couple months ago, I was out with a friend. Actually, more so like an acquaintance. We weren't really that close. And a waiter came over to our table and put a drink down. And he was like, "The gentleman over there just bought you a drink." And my friend instantly thought that the drink was for her. And you guessed it, it was a light-skinned woman. So the waiter corrected her and told her that the drink was for me. And when I tell you, for the next few weeks, that girl was just hitting me with backhanded compliments for like she would just like swipe up on my story with like backhanded shit, or like anytime like our group of friends would really hang out, like she would just hit me with so many backhanded compliments. And it's just crazy to me how people get so caught up in desirability politics. And once they get around somebody who kind of alters that reality, they get so jealous. In my time of being a beautiful, dark-skinned woman who is confident as hell, I've noticed that when I'm around light-skinned women or white women who like the fact that they benefit from colorism or racism, they get really, really jealous when they see that I alter that reality. And even though dark-skinned women are viewed as the most undesirable in every single community, my pretty privilege literally works everywhere, including Miami. And this is coming from a girl with no ass or titties. Every room that I walk into, and this is seriously no exaggeration, people go up to me and tell me that I'm beautiful and ask me if I'm a model, and they all stare. And because I'm a woman who shakes the room and alters the reality of our colorist society, I make a lot of people uncomfortable. And because I am a dark-skinned woman, so many people are expecting me to be insecure. And because I'm so confident, it makes them even more mad. And this isn't all light-skinned women or white women, because I have been around white women and light-skinned women who are sure of themselves and do not feel intimidated by my presence. But there are ones out there who get so uncomfortable with the fact that I'm literally amazingly beautiful, and I shake the room every time I walk into it. And I'm sure a lot of beautiful dark-skinned women have had the same experience that I have.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending where you are watching from. These EFK original documentaries. I urge you to subscribe to this channel. Here we learn a lot. Yeah. So, are you that person whom you tend to have some kind of cognitive biases? Because apart from fallacies, we have cognitive biases. And one of the cognitive biases that is prevalent phenomenomically, or rather it's just a phenomenon among African men, we find that light women are attractive than dark. We find that light women are attractive than dark-skinned or black women. All of them are black to the eyes of a black person, to the eyes of a white person. But we tend to judge beauty by the standards of that person who is having a lighter skin. Why? And why it happens among so many of us, I still don't understand. Someone's mother is black, very dark, but they tend not to like dark-skinned ladies. I ask myself, why is this happening? Myself, I have been a victim before. Myself, I have always liked to have these light-skinned ladies, but listen up. You know, I prefer the minds. To me, I prefer the minds. I prefer you have good intelligence. I prefer you have... I prefer that if I take you to my friends, if I take you to a place for you to speak, you will be eloquent, you will be good, you will be this and that, not being a light-skinned. I'm saying this because I've always done videos about colorism. It's not the first time I'm doing a video about colorism. Yeah, you may watch some of them. I've done some videos about colorism on Indians, and I noticed you guys liked this topic. Now, the problem of colorism among African women and men is a colonial problem. It's just a problem that was passed to our grandparents. Our grandparents passed it to our parents, and now our parents has passed it to us. It's upon us not to pass this curse to our grandchildren, or rather to our children. You understand? This is something that I need us to watch. Let us watch this video, listen to why and how this thing is operating, and then let's see if we can do something about it. Now, let's dive in.
Colorism is the most ridiculous thing that Kenyans actively participate in. Like, I cannot understand how a very supposedly learned country actively participates in such a system. And not to mention the tribalism that comes from it, because the way people uphold like the light-skinned tribes, like if someone is Kamba, Meru, Kikuyu, they're so pretty, but once you're Kisi, Luo, no one wants to be that, you know? Like, I see it, we see it. Same thing in Black America. There's a masculinization of dark-skinned women, loud, overbearing, they talk too much. That's the same way Kenyans speak about the women of tribes that are characteristically dark-skinned. Like, when it comes to Kikuyu babes, it's Usiguze Murima babes. But if it's a Kisi woman, it's like, oh, they're crazy. They speak too much, they're too loud. The way people act towards Mjaka Mfine is crazy to me. Like, why are you people trying to gaslight that she's not one of the most beautiful women? Like, Michelle is objectively gorgeous. And you guys are like too brainwashed, or like, I have no idea what's going on in your minds. And you guys are like calling her out because of dark skin. To me, when I found out about colorism, I was in shock. Like, I couldn't believe it, because my dad was a light-skinned man who married a dark-skinned woman. So for me, beauty, my first form of beauty was a dark-skinned woman. I was in shock when I went to primary school and people were making fun of dark-skinned people. I was so confused. It's genuinely all about social capital. Like, especially when it comes to men. Men are colorist, or like they choose to have light-skinned partners just so that they can appeal to their homeboys. Yup. Like, they do it for show. And women internalize that, and they feel like people don't understand how violent it is to basically hate the skin that you live in. And then, because you're taught that you're supposed to be social capital for men, and it's just like, what if, like, when you're not, you become deeply insecure and deeply troubled. You also exercise it towards other women, just continuing this vicious cycle of internalized racism and colonialism. Since I understand that, like, romantic relationships kind of like hold some worth in this world, and, you know, women feel really bad when they're not, you know, being like, they're not seen as worthy of being social capital. All I can say is, a man who would not date you because of your skin tone is not someone you should even try with impressing. Not only that, you should never take their opinion seriously, because what? And also, one thing that I've learned, and I watched it from Adela Afadi, is that sometimes people just lie. People lie because look around you. How many dark-skinned people do you know in loving relationships? How many dark-skinned people do you love? It's not true. All these lies that are being like pushed around by the system, it's lies. It's lies because, bro, we're all black. We're literally all black.
Oh. Guys, this is very beautiful. It's very magnificent that a black lady, she's Kenyan from her accent, even without saying she's Kenyan with the accent. Now, it's so amazing that a lady, this is a lady's perspective now, she's speaking, and it's the entire truth. Here in Africa, in Africa, we are tribalistic. Yeah, we still have that mentality. And coincidentally, we have those tribes that have lighter skin. Yeah, the ones she stated, she said the Kamba, she said Kikuyu, she said Meru, and she said some other tribe. You know, we have some tribes which are dominantly having these light-skinned ladies. And we've forgotten that we also have other tribes that do not have light-skinned ladies. And so, come to think of yourself. How is it beauty when you have a light skin, and how is it that you are not beautiful because you have a dark skin? I've seen ladies with which I really admired. That there's another side of me that you don't know. I really admired those ladies with black skin. They are really beautiful and they are blessed. They are blessed. Trust me. They are more blessed than these other people. Actually, more light-skinned ladies are not blessed like the black skin. African men, we love heavy duties. We love carrying heavy laden. And these black-skinned ladies have this heavy laden. If we can only do away with this tribalistic thing, because imagine you are refusing someone because they are black. Just imagine. That one is like you insulting God directly. And we men, we have that a lot. And I say that men who have this and are still cultivating this thought are men who are, they have a problem with themselves. These are men who are, they had problems during their childhood. It's something though which is not permanent. You can overcome it. I was once there, you know. Me, I really didn't go looking for a light-skinned lady. No, I didn't do that. I found myself having somebody who is having a lighter complexion than me, you know. But I didn't go around judging and doing this. No. Before that, I had girlfriends who were dark-skinned. I really liked them so much. So much. So I think this lady is right, that tribalism is taking an effect. And also, we should do away with this. Because if her dad was light-skinned and married her mom who was black, she had that idea, color is nothing. And if there was color, it was black, which was better, you know, until she was proven wrong by the society. Or rather, the society spoiled her. Or rather, the society misinformed her. I think the right word is the society misinformed her. Now, there's other videos I want us to watch, and let's see what they got to say here.
My name is Atina, and I am a proud South African colored. I am mixed. My dad is Indian, but I identify as colored because when I was born, my mom identified me as colored on my birth certificate. Firstly, I come before you with respect and I come in peace. If we are going to discuss colored being racist towards black people in South Africa, then we should have a discussion whereby both our opinions are shared, where both our feelings are validated, and where we both are respected within the discussion. You have a following of almost 40,000 people, and I have a following of almost 100,000 people on TikTok. And I believe that if we are going to discuss such matters, that it should be where both parties are heard and both parties are respected. Firstly, I want to start off by saying that I am so sorry. On behalf of the colored community, I want to apologize to you and to every other black person that has experienced racism at the hand of a colored person. No way should anyone treat another person differently because of the color of their skin, their hair texture, or their economic status, whether you rich, poor, or middle class. You shouldn't treat someone differently because of those factors. I don't respect that behavior. I don't condone that behavior. That behavior disgusts me. It disgusts me. And if more than one black South African is speaking about coloreds being racist, then us as a colored community, we have to do better. Some way, somehow, we have to change. South Africa is diverse. We have people from all walks of life. We struggled with this problem in apartheid. It shouldn't be the same struggle almost 30 years later. So I do apologize for the trauma. I do apologize for the mistrust. No one should have to go through that. Absolutely no one. If we are going to speak about racism in South Africa, then let us be honest about the facts. Every person or every race, there is a minority within that race that is racist. You get black people that is racist, colored people that is racist, white people that are racist, right? The difference between a colored that is racist and a white person that is racist is that a white person is a little bit more subtle in the way that they show their racism. A colored is more aggressive. A colored will be heard and will be loud about it. They will be loud about it. That is the difference that I have come to see, in my opinion, right? Let me tell you a little bit more about myself. Growing up, I used to live on a farm, okay? And on the farm, they used to have these hostels where they would house all the workers and their families. Majority of these workers were black families. Every weekend and every school holiday, I would go down to the hostel and I would play with the black kids. The black families treated me as if I was family. I ate the same food that they ate. I would play the same games that they would play. They taught me about their heritage, their culture. They taught me Setswana. I understand a little bit of Zulu. I understand a little bit of Xhosa because they exposed me to everything that is considered that's considered black culture or that is practiced within the black community. And the most beautiful thing that black people taught me was to be humble. They taught me about humility. They taught me about humility. Now, I can't speak on behalf of every single colored because I know that it is a problem. I'm not here to say to you, no, coloreds aren't racist. We are. Some of us are. I've seen it. And I don't know why. I don't know why. But I do agree it is something that we need to change. Because obviously a lot of black South Africans are feeling that way. I'm not here to basically tell you that you're wrong, because you're not. You have every right to feel the way that you feel. I just want you to be open-minded towards us, because really we're all not the same. Some of us were taught how to respect one another, how to accept one another, and how to love one another. And I hope that one day you get to experience that love within the colored community. And I am so sorry that you were subject to that type of treatment. And like I said, I do hope that you are a little bit more open-minded towards us, because truly, we're really not all the same.
I don't know if you've had an experience where you've been like, this is racist, but I have no proof, but this is racist. Because today I was going somewhere. I was in Stratford Station, and I was in a rush because I was running late. So I had to like kind of weave through the crowd because there were lots of people, and there was a black woman who had gone before, like in front of me. She was walking quickly as well. She was in a hurry as well, clearly. And she said to the white lady in front of us, "Excuse me," and she walked past. And then I was also like, "Excuse me," and I walked past. And then I'm walking, and then I hear someone's voice behind me being like, excuse me," and I'm like, it can't be. Then I turn around and I'm not sure who said it, but then I remember when I heard the voice being like, excuse me, I also heard a male laughter as well. So I was like, was it the same lady that I said excuse me to? And is it bothering them that two black women have the audacity to vocalize that they need to get past you? Or is this in my head? And I've come to the conclusion that my gut feeling is probably right, because I trust my gut feeling, and I just feel like there was more to that mockery of me than just the whole excuse me thing. I think it was deeper than that. So I just thought it was an interesting experience, and it was just something I was thinking about, because it's not the first time that I've experienced something where I'm like, this is racist, but I can't put my finger on it, and I can't say exactly what is racist about it, but it's giving passive aggressive and micro, not even micro, this one was a macro aggression. Yeah,
I mean, I've experienced a lot of racism from like all sides. Like, I think, to be honest, I think that Africa for me has been the most like racist place that I've been to. Being a mixed race person, there I was very light skinned and I got like bullied at school. Like my teacher like beat me. Obviously there you can hit kids at school. Yeah, so I went to school there, obviously, because I left at 7, and my teacher was light skinned, but I was like the light skin in my class. And I just remember she'd just pick on me, and she'd like, you had to like go to the front of the class, and she would just like, I'd stand there and she'd just slap me across the face. People just picking on like, if you're lighter, then you assume you're more rich, you're more cleaner. Even like a darker skin, like it's just insane, because it would be just being like by your shade of color. Like that happens here, but in a different sort of way.
I just want to be able to like represent for the little black girls, because I remember like I always looked up to Naomi.
Yes, and you looked up to Naomi.
Yeah, and then for me, I get so many like DMs from little girls saying that how much they believe in themselves and how much they say that I inspire them. Because I remember when I was younger, I hated how dark I was.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I felt like people, I mean, I was bullied about it.
Yeah.
And now
So beautiful.
I've learned to really accept myself, and I just hope I'm inspiring little
You
girls.
are inspiring.
So guys, let's talk about colorism in Kenya. This is the one thing that people don't like admitting, but light-skinned people get away with a lot of things in Kenya, and they get opportunities based on the mere fact that they're actually light, but it has nothing to do with their competency. I had a front row seat to this when I was in uni, because in uni we were doing promotion jobs. Na kama where you are a youngster in Nairobi, you know activation jobs. Zile jobs za roadshow, zile jobs za kufanya promo kwa supermarket, zile jobs za, you know, kwenda kwa store na ma games, kuza, you know, vitu, and just working with agencies that promote products from companies that sell consumer goods. So I went through this agency. I'm not going to say the name of the agency, but it's those sides of Hurlingham. Was it Hurlingham? I can't remember. Not Hurlingham. Where? Lavington? No. I think Lavington. Yeah, one of those. Anyway. And they were looking for people to do an activation on a BL products. It's already pombe, like alcoholic drinks, so selling in the bar. So they were looking for brown-skinned women with big behinds and big adhiambos. But yours truly, I'm a people person. I like to talk. I'm an easy person. I'm good with sales. But I don't have adhiambos that big, and I'm not light. I mean, don't be fooled with this filter. So I was told, you can't do this project. You will not do this project. And they say it in your face in front of people, because you queue like this and they just tell you, you know, you yes, you know, you yes, you know, you yes. I have never, ever, 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 ever in Kenya felt so bad about my physical appearance until I started doing those promo jobs. Because people will literally overlook you if you're dark-skinned and go with somebody who is light-skinned. And it's so unfortunate, because Kenya is an African country, and the fact that they discriminate people based on colorism, based on how light you are, which is a Eurocentric view on beauty anyway, it's so, so unfortunate. I don't know if they're still doing it till now. I don't know if those agencies still exist and still do the same. But let me tell you guys, the truth is, the lighter you are in an African country, they view you differently than somebody who is dark-skinned. That those kind of agencies promoted self-hate, you know, that's why people will go and lighten their skin, bleach their skin to sort of look lighter, because they've put it in your face that you're not beautiful. So even if you grow up telling yourself that you're beautiful, it's going to take a whole lot for you to move past that mindset. So those particular agencies that still do that, please stop it.
Colorism is the hate of dark skin. Within South Asia, it derives from both anti-blackness and the caste system. Anti-blackness is something that has affected the whole world in every single community. Colorism has stemmed from anti-blackness. Being a Tamil woman, a dark-skinned South Asian woman, I didn't see any representation that represented that part of me. Just seeing also just black women embrace themselves and love themselves in a way that I've never seen anyone from my communities do, that like actually embrace their dark skin. I felt like that was really inspiring. I want to be able to, you know, show myself as a proud dark-skinned Tamil woman and make someone else feel the same way that black women and black women's representation made me feel. Once you unlearn colonial ideologies of beauty and whiteness, you start to see the beauty in all types of people and body sizes and skin tones.
So I got my first racist hate comment today. A Pakistani woman commented Kutti, Gali, Bengali, and other horrible things. While this was completely out of pocket, and she's black now, I was used to women from my community, the South Asian community, telling me that I'm ugly because of my skin color. My extended family used to always make my mom feel bad that her daughter was dark, or, you know, the dark one in the family. And they used to send her packets on packets of Fair and Lovely. My great uncle, who was a poet, wrote a poem about how I got into college even though I'm dark. And it took me a really long time to love my brown skin. And I know I'm not the only brown girl who's had to grow up like this. The ideas of beauty in our culture are deeply, deeply rooted in colonialism. And that's why I created the first nonprofit that tackles exactly this. Along with trying to steer young girls away from child marriage, I built a company where South Asian girls everywhere can feel beautiful in their own skin. We build up their confidence so they can take hate comments like this and instead use it to empower other women. I do this not just for the girls in Bangladesh, but South Asian girls everywhere. So, to that woman, it's unfortunate that my skin color offended you this much. I hope you heal and find love in your heart someday. And for all my brown girls.
Now, after carefully listening to what the sisters and the brothers have shared here, here's one thing I've noticed, and it's a life thing, you know. That tree which has ripe mangoes will always be thrown stone at, and you don't see children throwing stone at a tree which does not have ripe mangoes, or a tree that does not have edible fruits. It's just a factor, it's just a phenomenon with humans. Remember, by the beginning of the video I told you that human, or rather African males, we have a phenomenon where we are being attracted to light-skinned women. Ironically, white people, when they marry our women, they marry dark-skinned women. We've seen it. It's out there, you know. There's this girl called gThe. You know, she's very dark, and I really like that skin. I really like that color. She reminds me of my mom, you know. My mom is still around, by the way, and I love her. She's also dark-skinned. Now, this lady has some baby mamas. She's a baby mama to some white guys. Yeah. So I sit back and ask myself, why did these white guys choose this black-skinned woman? And nowadays is when I'm coming to the realization, it's more than meets the eye. You know, color is just that thing which, without someone speaking, you've already judged them. It's a cognitive bias, as I told you before. A cognitive bias is something that affects your mind directly without you consuming it, without you taking effective, or rather taking further details into refining your judgment. We have what is called availability heuristics, or rather the halo effect as well. The halo effect and the availability heuristics are two phenomena that are affecting black men. Black men, they see a white woman, they see a brown woman, not white, brown or light skin. They automatically think they're gentle, they're soft-mannered, they're feminine, they are this and that. All positive attributes are given to them. All virtues are given to them. And then when a black woman passes, our black woman, unfortunately, passes through that place, you'll see how they liken her to someone who is full of vices. The opposite of virtues is vices. Black skin, this, that, they are too much African, they are not modernized. Just take time and live with these white ladies. Take time. Just take time. These ladies, you call them brown, not white. Take time to live with them. There is more to a person than meets the eye. It's not just the skin color. Again, another thing that I've noticed is this. All these people who are black are people who, when they were growing, they didn't know that the society would think of them as not beautiful. Imagine children playing. Children are not colorists. Yeah. Children are just playing out there and they are doing their own things. And that's why there's a verse that Jesus says. He says that, let the children come to me, for such is the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is likened with the behavior of children. If you think I'm lying, go and read Mark chapter 10 verse 14. Yeah. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ said, let all the children come to me, because the kingdom of heaven is likened unto them. And this is what happens, So, having a dark skin is a mechanism. And children do not have it, by the way. Children are not colorists. So having a dark skin is a mechanism that has been given to us by God for us to survive. If there is DNA that is very strong, if there's a DNA that is resistant to diseases, resistant to sunburns, resistant to many things that would affect the other skin tone, is the black skin. The black skin has more advantages than the one which is not black. I'm telling you. So that person who is making you feel bad about yourself is them lacking something that you have. It's them being brainwashed. The society has made them believe that. You see, those are Jamaicans. Jamaicans are very dark and lovely. We see other tribes, our Luo ladies are very beautiful and lovely. We should love everyone. We should love everyone, but let's not preferentially treat one person because of their skin color. I don't if they qualify for the same thing, treat them as that qualification demands. Don't treat them different because of the skin color. No. If they are both your managers, treat them as managers. If they are both your employees, treat them equally. Because what's the difference? The black skin has faced a lot of suffering. The black skin has been persecuted. The black skin was the one which was taken to the USA. The black skin is the one which has given rise to Obama. The black skin is the one which Moses himself married a black woman. But his sister, Zipporah, Zipporah told Moses that she married a black woman. Why? And you know what? God was not happy with this. God saw that these sisters of Moses was a racist. And what did God do? God, being God, struck her with leprosy. God does not take part in colorism. He doesn't take part in racism. This problem of colorism, racism is a vice. It's something which has always been there. So you have black skin, or rather you have a white skin, or whichever skin you have, just love yourself. Yeah? Love yourself. I don't think you are better than a black-skinned lady. No, you will be fatally mistaken. I love those ladies who have white skin and love other black-skinned ladies. I really love you. And I love those black ladies as well who take joy in having their black skin. They won't do anything to go and bleach. No, why would you bleach? That your skin is gold. Some white women you see on YouTube and everywhere, they go ahead and they bleach and they want to become black,